Welcome to the 5th instalment of the Shane Warne Super Stack Series in Melbourne, Australia for 888 Poker TV. I'm John O'Piddock and I'm joined by Josh Bell from Poker Asia Pacific. Josh, you've been covering this tournament for the last 3 days. What's the atmosphere been like in the room?
It's great. It's one of those events it's a small buy-in, so everyone's excited. Could turn a tiny investment into a huge first prize, so everyone's excited to be at the tables, and yeah, it's a good event.
Well, it's in the man himself, Mr. Shane Warne's name. We caught up with Shane last night. Let's hear what he had to say about the event.
Another huge success at the 888 Super Stack Series. Nearly 700 players, which is a 50% growth. I think I've contributed about 4 times already so far, so I love the format. The players are all having a great time too, so that's it's a real bonus that everyone loves the format too. It should be good. Hopefully I can actually make it to day 2 after being 4 rebuys. There is a lot of similarities between poker and cricket. One, the patience side of things, 5-day test match, 12 hours or 7-8 hours a day. When you've got a 12-hour sort of poker tournament, you've got to show patience, you've got to know when to push, position, pot odds, all those sorts of things is very similar to actually summing up a batsman. What's his weakness? When do I push? When do I attack? When do I defend? So the correlation and the similarities between poker and test cricket are fantastic, and I think that's why I love the game. I've got a good table today, so I'm fingers crossed we do okay, but hopefully the Super Stack Series gets bigger and bigger every year.
Well, there you have it. Words from the great man himself, team captain for 888 Poker, Mr. Shane Warne. Now, Josh, you've been covering this event for the last 3 days. You've been putting in some long hours, mate. Tell us, what happened on Thursday night, day 1A?
So, as you said, Thursday night, day 1A, 212 entrants. It was a great start. The biggest this event's ever been is 600, so it put us on track to beat that field. So, end of the night, there was 32 survivors.
Wow.
Chip leader was Leon Day on just over 520,000.
He was an 888 Poker League qualifier, I believe.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. Tell us about some other notables in the field. Who else played that?
So, Australian Poker Hall of Famer Billy the Croc Argyris.
Okay. Well, we caught up with Billy yesterday afternoon. He was eliminated in day 1A, re-entered day 1C using that accumulator format. What do you think of the accumulator format?
It's great. It helps the prize pool. It gives players a chance. You know, some players might drive 2 hours to get to the Crown Poker Room, bust out in the first hour, get a cooler, bad beat, whatever, and they can rebuy and have another crack, you know, so...
Well, Billy certainly had another crack. Let's check out what he had to say about the event.
I was lucky enough to play a poker tournament at Golf Tech. 888 Poker provided the winner with a seat in the main event, and here I am, and here I went. The event was an accumulator event, and basically you had 3 bullets. So if you got knocked out day 1, you could play day 2, and if you knocked out day 2, you could play day 3, or you could play the whole 3. So it gave everyone a chance, from the low budget poker player to a high roller, where you can play multiple times. And it was quite a good format, and they actually got I think they had a 50% increase from last year's entry, nearly close to 700 runners this year. I started 2 hours late, but the calibre of play was quite interesting. It was sort of like some talented players and also some very, very poor and amateuristic players where, you know, the blinds would be 150, 300, someone would make it 1,500 and 3 people would call to see a flop. And so it was interesting. It wasn't typical Aussie Millions.
So, day 1C, Saturday, biggest day of them all. Tell us about that.
It was the biggest day. It was 289 entrants.
Wow.
So it meant that a total field of 694 had been created, which is up 59% on the biggest
new
number
record.
ever.
New record for this event.
Yeah, so since we haven't seen a field of over 600 since 2011, so
yeah, right.
It was a great turnout.
And it was a real eclectic mix of players too, I noticed. I mean, we had 95 qualifiers qualified on 888 Poker. The 888 Poker League satellite just under 40 players in as well. Crown satellite their own players in, and there was a bunch of direct entry players. So it was a real eclectic mix.
It really was. That's what's great about these sorts of events, the $300 buy-in with a championship-style structure. It's just a great event for all kinds of players. And one of those direct entries was Aussie Millions runner-up, Joe Cabret.
Right, yeah. We saw him on the rail. He come in to see some of the boys. I don't even think he realised the event was on. And then when he saw it was on, the buzz in the room, he jumped right in, didn't he?
That's right, yeah, he did.
Well, we caught up with him. Let's see what he had to say.
No, it's a great game. It's just under 700. It's up about 40% or 50% on last year. Portion of the money goes to the Shane Warne Foundation. It's a great charity event. So I enjoy playing any tournament that donates to charities. The Aussie Millions earlier this year was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy the atmosphere of the Aussie Millions, except it was hot in the room.
So that was Joker Bread on day 1C before he was eliminated. He did get his stack up to around 200k, but must have had dinner plans because he was out the door. But he's been a big supporter of the Shane Warne Foundation, and I'm sure he'll be back for the next Shane Warne Superstar.
Yeah, look, a portion of the entry fees from this event goes to the Shane Warne Foundation, who works to enrich the lives of seriously ill and underprivileged children in Australia. So, look, it's a great cause. So not only do these players get to play in a well-structured, deep stack, affordable tournament with a big prize pool and a relatively soft field, they also get the feel-good factor of being able to donate some money to a really good cause. Look, we're hoping that this event happens again. We caught up with brand new Crown Poker Tournament Director Joel Williams yesterday, and let's see what he had to say. Joel, thanks for joining us, mate. And congratulations on the new role, Tournament Director at Crown. So tell us about this event. How's it gone for the Crown Poker Room so far?
Yeah, so far so good. It's a fantastic lead-up towards Aussie Millions. You know, it's a great, almost like a test run for me in my only first or second major event. So getting a little bit of a dry run before Aussie Millions is just ideal, and the numbers are, you know, through the roof. So it's great. We've never had to accumulate a format for the Shane Warne Superstack before, and it's a little bit of an untried format. You know, it's still new to a lot of players. So to get, you know, around the 200 mark and then, you know, push 300 today is just a fantastic result. So, no, we're wrapped.
And it's a great atmosphere in the room too. All the players seem to be enjoying themselves.
Yeah, there's a bit of a buzz actually. It's the difference between the new players and the experienced players all sort of mingling in this environment. It's a new thing for a lot of us, I think, to have, you know, guys as experienced as Joker Brett, who's the current Aussie Millions main event runner-up, right through to guys that have qualified online and through pub free rolls. You know, just to put them all into one tournament is just a fantastic environment for everyone. Greatest living cricketer in the room playing cards. It's fantastic. You can see the competitive streak in him when he's playing poker. It's almost like he's sort of, you know, rolling the arm over a bowl and leggies again. He's got that same sort of mentality about him. That whole fierce competitor side. You know, he ran into a couple of bad beats yesterday, and being a re-entry tournament, he just couldn't re-enter quick enough. You know.
Right.
It was just a matter of how quickly can I get back in, how quickly can I get revenge on these guys.
Right.
So, no, he's fantastic for the room, and his ability to relate to everyday people. You know, he's an everyday bloke himself. You know, and he can carry a conversation at just about any level, which makes him a favourite of ours. He's fantastic.
Well, there you have it. Tournament Director Joel Williams. He's out there right now getting ready for the start of day 2. So tell us, day 2, this is where the money starts. 63 players are going to get paid. Who do we need to look out for today?
So 37 survived last night on day 1C, so that made it 102 total, added with the survivors from 1A and 1B.
Right.
So top 63, so about 40 players will come back today and unfortunately won't make the money.
Right.
But chip leader at the start of the day is the chip leader from 1A, Marty, and Leon Day from 1B. So they both have 525,000.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a long way to go though. So we'll make the money somewhere in the afternoon, and it's going to be a long night before we get to the final table. And Shane's still in as well, so hopefully he'll still be there.
That's right, yeah, Shane's still got some chips. Just over 170,000. Those last 2 hands last night, pocket jacks, both hands. Second last hand he won. Last hand of the night he lost with pocket jacks. I know he really, really wanted to win that hand. He was a bit, not tilted, bit on edge when he left last night. I think he wants to do really well in this event. So stay tuned for some more live updates in the blog. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at 888 Poker. Stay tuned.